So let's see what's going on here. Looks like he is responding here with one bunch of Hydras coming over here as one drone is heading away. Throwing down some Spore Crawlers there, definitely a good idea. You know, minimal amount of monetary investment, and you can protect your mineral on there. Always a good thing. So right now, the Protoss, you know, he's a little bit behind on the bases, but this one not really saturated that well. Neither is this one. The Zerg player is continuing to macro up. He's actually trying to get his army back up here. He does not want to be sitting without one. As the Protoss, you know, the last engagement, those Colossi really did it for him. Able to get in there at this ramp, even with their, you know, the long range, that's just what made it happen. We're able to break through these lines here because of this choke point. As you see, we do have Void Rays continuing to be produced. Oh, and there's another Queen lifting off, and it is actually canceled because there are Hydras there, able to rise to the challenge. And Zerg is continuing to be spread out here. This is actually a very good thing, considering how far apart these two players are. And if I do sound kind of nasally right now, it's because I am still kind of congested just a little bit here, so I do apologize for that. I will try my best to minimize the amount of sniffing that I do. Phoenixes are moving out once again. May decide to do a little bit of harassment. There are some nice targets here. One right there, and there's the bulk of the Zerg forces. You see he is actually loading up a bunch of Banelings. Might see some Carpet Banelings here coming in the near future. Roaches currently at 0 and 2, as Zerg is looking to move his forward position up here to guard the high-yield expansion, which so far has not been touched by the Protoss yet either. Taking a look at the base right now, we can see Twilight Council is going down. Still continuing to get out those Void Rays. See, he's just got them rallied up to his main army right now. Doesn't want to do anything with them. Just keeping those Phoenixes pretty much in place. So at this point, we are in a little bit of a lull right now. And we're just waiting for both of these players to get their economies going. We can see they're going for a whole slew of upgrades. Spire going down. Probably see some Corruptors here to answer the Colossi, which right now you can see he's got 6 of them. So, good bit of those indeed. And, let's see, the Sentry does not have Hallucination yet. Hallucination is something that I've actually been playing with a lot in 1v1s lately. I find it to be very, very helpful. I just never really played that much Protoss before, and I guess I'm a noob like that, but you know, I've really taken a liking to Hallucination, especially with the reduced build time. I've been incorporating that into a lot more of my builds. Certainly helps a lot to have a few additional Colossi out there just to distract the opposing army, which right now, taking a look at the Zerg player, you can see it's a healthy mixture of Roaches and Hydras. Banelings, you know, they're going to be great, but the problem is there's really not a lot. Well, there's a good bit of Zealots here. But a lot of this army is the Colossus, the Stalkers, the Void Rays, you know, stuff that Banelings are really going to have a hard time to really be being effective against, as one Colossus apparently just cannot get up to the top of the cliff here. Poor guy, he's given the ability to walk up cliffs, and he just can't even master the art of walking, period. Zerg is moving out in the western half of the map here, still hanging out on the creep, doing a good job of that. As we see the map, as the map is revealed, you can see the creep there at the top of the cliff. Able to get in here, get some free kills. Zealots are running away, wants to get into a better position for fighting. Right here at the top of the ramp here, well, he will have his Colossi in safely out of range, rather. There's the battle right there. Oh man, look at that. The Colossus and the Void Ray is doing so much damage. The Zerg does not have a chance in this fight. You can see the Roaches are coming here from the south, able to do some more damage. But the Colossi on the whole are winning this battle, as well as the Void Rays. You see that is pretty much all that is left out of this army. Pretty darn heavy losses. Oh no, Queen, you're not supposed to. Oh, Queens are not for holding Xel'Naga watchtowers. Pro tip. Don't want to have that happen. Probably just trying to spread some creep up there and forgot about it, but now the Protoss is moving out. Will he be able to kill this expansion in time? I'm not too sure. You can see it is currently at 50% health right now, as actually the Protoss is choosing to engage some of these other forces here, only keeping a couple of the Void Rays on this expansion. And look at that, 345 hit points left on it. Very close to death, but able to survive. Obviously able to get that back up with some transfusions here. Zerg pretty much just hanging out right here, not doing a whole lot right now. Take a look at the base right here. You just get a quick layout of it. As we see, there's a little bit of Phoenix harassment, but not too much. Obviously, the Corruptors, very quick flyers, able to get in here and can't quite keep up with the Phoenix, but pretty darn close. Oh, Zerg is moving to maybe do another attack, but instead sacrifices a couple. I think he just lost a Zergling there. I think one of those Hydras got very close to death. Yep, there it goes right there. See, his Zerg expansion has gone up right here. Does not have the rally points, so we have a very bored drone indeed. Obviously, he is creeping out that expansion. Good idea. Wants to try to keep the Protoss contained. Obviously, can't contain with just an Overlord, but you know that creep is going to prevent the Nexus from simply being placed. He's going to have to divert a little bit of his forces there to deal with that, and even after that, wait a little bit. So, good idea as a Zerg player to keep your creep everywhere. You can see that oGsJ is doing a good job of that. Obviously, has creep tumors right up to the Protoss base. May have another encounter here. Zerg moving into position. Oh man, but the Colossi are ripping right through those Hydras. There's not enough damage. There's so much anti-air in this army. He just really can't deal with the Colossi. Oh my god. The Void Rays here obviously very well equipped to do some of the damage there. Look at the corruption abilities, man. Or the corruption ability all over the Protoss forces. Oh man, that's just disgusting. I would not want to be one of those guys right now. Have that goop all over your arms and legs. This expansion's still not quite saturated, this one either. You can see he's actually continuing to work on his arm. I'm not sure why I had the production tab away there. I do apologize for that. Alright, now we see Zerg player is continuing to get aerial and missile upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, we can see right now Protoss does have two weapons, one armor. As the Zerg player is moving in here to defend his spine crawlers. Oh, there's so many corruptors. Look at that. He's made a good bit of them, throwing corruption on a lot of the Protoss units. However, the Protoss able to burst through it, and now able to finally finish off of that expansion. Still has this one over here, not really saturated, and this one's looking pretty good. This one, pretty good, but look at that. Ultralisk Cavern is here, does not have the Chitinous Plating upgrade. I'm sure I pronounced that horribly, but whatever, it's cool. Ultras are pretty badass like that. Alright, two more gateways are warping in here, as the Protoss, you can see, very, very good in terms of economy right now, actually up against his opponent. About 2,100 to 2,000, kind of going back and forth there. 86 to 75 harvesters. Looking at the units lost tab once more, we can see definitely oGsJ has suffered the greater of the two losses. As we look at the production tab once more, 6 Ultralisks are on the way. Now this is going to be a pretty tough thing to fight with, man. Oh, but look at all these spine crawlers out of position there. I'll tell you what, I really do need to lay off some of this medication right now. I just cannot talk today. But we will make it through this game for sure as the Protoss continues to assert map control. Doesn't have an observer able to see any... Well, actually, no, he does have one there, but, you know, really could have stand to have one observer a little bit earlier, able to knock out some of that creep. As the Ultras are pushing in here, this is maybe the last-ditch effort for the Zerg. I do not know. Watching here, this is not an attack that I'm sure he would want to be fighting right now. Look at that. All the Corruptors there, man, doing as much damage as possible to the Colossi. But, you know, the Stalkers there, that's pretty much going to be all she wrote for that Zerg army. And once again, having to retreat. You can see the Zerg defenses over the past few minutes weaker and weaker. You know, he's able to pretty much field about 70% of the units each time. And there is some Dark Templar coming in here to this expansion. Oh man, this is not good for the Zerg player. He's going to be losing this expansion. Look at that right there. All that income is gone. This one is getting ready to be gone as the Ultras are coming in here with the Corruptors, yes, and the Stalkers are down. Drones are not in a good position right now. Obviously, a couple shots from the Colossi can take that out. Meanwhile, the Dark Templar over here finishing off this expansion. Obviously, this is going to be dead very soon. No Zerg response to that at all. Just continuing to mine Broodlords. Killing that probe. Yeah, take that, Protoss. That's what you get. Corruptors are actually forcing the Protoss to go on the defensive here. Does not have any Stalkers here to reinforce. A couple of them there now. But obviously, could not get there in time before losing one more Colossus. Expansion's still sitting pretty good. You can see he's turning those into warp gates there. Probably just too busy fighting there. I've left that for a more macro opportune time. More Ultras are on the way, as well as more Corruptors here. But like I said, man, the Protoss has really done a number to the Zerg economy. You can still see it's about even, but we have dropped down about 500 for both players. This expansion gone. You can see all those probes are sitting around board there. This one's pretty much the only standard expansion, relying on most of his economy to come from this one right here. As you can see, the drones are actually having to long-distance mine. May decide to throw down a hatchery here. But look at the actual money that he has right now. About 750 gas. He does have one Ultra on the way, as well as an Overseer to deal with the Dark Templar. Wants to make sure he can hold his expansions for as long as possible here. This one just about out of money. Oh, man, he's going to have to transfer some drones and hope for the best here. He's really got to hold on to this expansion. There's one Dark Templar here killing this. Oh, but it looks like the Dark Templar is not going to be able to kill it in time. Do have one Overlord here loaded up with three Banelings and one Hydra. Zerg still continuing to long-distance mine here. Not the best situation to be in. Protoss moving in, and there goes the high-yield expansion. Zerg really needed that to stay in this game, as right now the only money he really has coming in is right here, and even this, he's transferring some drones away from it. Still long-distance mining. I'll tell you what, this is a really long distance to be mining from right here. As the Protoss is moving up, maybe for the final blow. Ultras are coming in here way ahead of the rest of the forces. Look at that. They're just being chewed up by the Void Rays, who are now engaging the Corruptors, and the Colossi are just ripping through the Hydras and everything else. Stalkers obviously there to absorb a bunch of the damage from the Ultralisks, keep them from getting too close, as right now the Protoss is looking to wrap this up. That attack is pretty much over. Corruptors obviously here to do as much damage to the Colossi as possible. Stalkers, you know, I mean, they are taking a bit of damage from the Ultra, but at this point, there's so many in number that it's not really going to matter. The Zerg is in a very bad position right now. Well, this expansion, gone. Did not have this one. You can see the Protoss now has it, actually. This one, just about out of minerals here. You can see the drones are just going back and forth. This one, gone. This one, this is really all Zerg's got right now. The Protoss, you can see he's still working on this high-yield expansion, which really has not been touched. Ever since, the Protoss went on that initial large offensive, he's been able to keep most of the fights around here or up, or around here or up, and that's really what the Protoss wants to do. You really want to just lock down your half of the map here, and that will be that. So Zerg throwing down this expansion, but you can see it is very unguarded. This one is now dead from the Dark Templar, who are moving in right here now to get the killing blow on the Queen, while the Protoss moves up here towards the main base with the bulk of his forces. Drones are getting caught. Oh my god, there's the WW from oGsJ. We all know that's a GG, but we're just going to call it WW because Ws are more awesome than G's. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that is going to be the game. I hope you did enjoy it. Like I said, I do apologize for my kind of loopiness right now. I am still pretty doped up, but I wanted to get some games out here on my channel because I know a whole bunch of you have just come over from Husky's channel. I know that a lot of my, a lot of the fans here on the channel have been waiting for several days for a game, so the games are going to get better from here, I promise. And yeah, if you have not already, make sure you go to my Facebook and like that, so that way you can get updates and stuff. Because, like I said, I do chat on there when the past couple days I've been in bed playing some 1v1s, talking about that, and yeah, just kind of stay in the loop there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.